Charles E. Smith Jewish Life Communities, a recording for October 23rd, 2021. The Parsha this week is Va'era. Start on page 61, the bottom paragraph, with Matovu. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Go to page 63 today. We have the paragraphs for appreciation, the miracle of our bodies, and the gift of our souls. We're going to use a harmonized musical version today from Braune-Friedman melodies for both these paragraphs, sung in harmony from a couple of cantors, male and female, one doing Asher Yatzar and one doing Eloheinu Shama. On to page 65, blessings of the morning, thanking God for helping us realize who we are and what we're able to do each day as we move and get up. 65. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasech v'bina alachim ben yom v'en laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani b'tzamo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbi sharomim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam atir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kifufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rakaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sh'asali kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozei Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam otei Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam nanotein layai kawach. U'tenevachol yom l'cheinu l'chesed rachamim. V'nech v'nekrein v'tim leinu chasadim tovim. Baruch atah Adonai gomel chasadim tovim le'amo Yisrael. Go to 68 today. We'll take this rabbinic passage, top of the page of Ot Rabbi Natan. What happens after the temple destroyed? How do we gain forgiveness? And Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the first rabbi, has an answer. Once Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was walking with his disciple Rabbi Yoshua near Jerusalem after the destruction of the temple. Rabbi Yoshua looked at the temple ruins and said, "Alas for us, the place that atoned for the sins of the people Israel through the destructive ritual of the animal sacrifice lies in ruins." Then Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai spoke to him these words: "Be not grieved, my son. There is another equally meritorious way of gaining atonement, even though the temple is destroyed. You can still gain atonement through deeds of loving kindness. For it is written in Hosea, loving kindness I desire, not sacrifice." Page 72 is next, bottom 4 lines of the Psalm for Shabbat. Page 72 at the bottom. Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balavanon yiskeshetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvim beseva deshenim berananim yiyu lehagin ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo avla tabo. Continuing today, page 83. Baruch Shamar, praise this God who created the world by word. 83. Baruch Shamar v'yaholam Baruch Hu. Baruch Oseh v'reshit. Baruch Omer v'yosef. Baruch Gozer u'mekayim. Baruch mirachem al haaretz. Baruch mirachem al habriot. Baruch mishalem sachar tov l'reyav. Baruch Hailad v'kayam lanetzach. Baruch Podet Umatzil, Baruch Shemo. Yachid Chayolami Melech Meshubachum Faradei Ad Shemo Hagadol Baruch Ata Adonai Melech Mulala Batish Bachot. We'll go to page 88 today. We're going to go on the Hebrew side, then the English side also. We're going to go down to the mem line, 2/3 of the way down the page. Mi ha'isha chafetz chaim, who is the man or the person that desires long life? Mi ha'isha chafetz chaim, ohev yamim lirotov, nitzur l'shonecha meira, usfatecha medaber mirma, Sur meirav yasetov, bakesh shalom, verod fehu. Take those two paragraphs and a little bit more at the beginning of the come children. Come children, listen to me. I will teach you to revere Adonai. Which of you desires life, loves long years, discovering goodness? Then keep your tongue from evil, your lips from speaking lies. Shun evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of Adonai are on the righteous. God's ears are open to their cry. Page 96 will be next. Ashrei yoshvei ve'techod yalucha selah. Continue soundly at the top of 97. Tehilat Adonai yedaber piv yivarech kol basar shem kodesh olam va'ed. V'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata v'yad olam. Hallelujah. Page 100 next. We'll do the first 4 stanzas in the English. Psalm 149, page 100. Hallelujah, sing a new song to Adonai, where the faithful gather, let God be praised. The people of Israel rejoice in their maker. Let the people of Zion delight in their sovereign. Let them dance in praise of God. Let them celebrate with drum and harp. For God, Adonai, cherishes God's people and crowns the humble with triumph. Let God's faithful sing exultantly and rejoice both night and day. Hallelujah. Staying on 100. Last 3 lines of Psalm 150 by the box, a quarter of the way from the bottom of the page. Hallelujah, hallelujah, v'tzilat tzalei shama. Hallelujah, hallelujah, v'tzilat tzalei trua. Kol haneshama tehallel ya, Hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol hanshama tehallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Skip, last skip to 105, middle of the page. On Shabbat, the reader begins with Shochen ad marom v'kadosh shemo v'chatuv ranenu tzadikim baranoi la'esharim navatila v'fishrim titalal u'v'divrei tzadikim titbarach u'v'ilshon chasidim titromam u'v'kerev kedoshim titkadash u'v'makalot revivot Amcha Beit Yisrael. Read this paragraph in the English. Among assembled throngs of the house of Israel, your name shall be glorified in song, our sovereign in every generation, for it is the duty of all creatures, Adonai our God, and God of our ancestors, to acclaim, laud, and glorify you, extolling, exalting, to add our own praise, the songs of David, your anointed servant. 106. Yishtabach Shimcha Lord Malakenu, Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaKadosh B'Shamayim V'Aretz, Ki L'Chana Adonai Eloheinu V'Elohei Avotenu, She'ushvacha Halel V'Zimra, Oz U'Memshala, Netzach Gidula Gvura, Tila V'Tiferet Kedusha U'Malchut, Berachot V'Odo Me'ata V'Ad Olam Baruch Atah Adonai, El Melech Gadol B'Tishbachot, El Hodot, Adon Haniflot, Habocher B'Shirei Zimra, Melech El, Chei HaOlamim. On to 107, line 3. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, creating light and fashioning darkness, ordaining the order of all creation. Like that. God does both the light and the darkness. Both are parts of God's creation. Continue silently. Hakol yoduch v'kshuv v'chucha v'kol yomru en kadosh karanai. Incomparable, inimitable, peerless and singular, Adonai our God, you are our sovereign, incomparable in this world, inimitable in the world to come, peerless Redeemer in the days of the Messiah, singular in assuring life immortal. 108. El Adonai l'kol ha'masim baruch u'mvarach b'fi kol neshama Godlo v'tuvo malei olam da'at u'tfuna sovavimoto hamit ga'eh al chayot ha'kodesh v'nedor v'chavod al ha'merkava zichut u'mishor lifnei chiso chesed v'rachamim lifnei chavodo tovim me'orot shebara Eloheinu yitzaram v'da'at b'vino paskel Koach ugvura natan bahem liot moshlim bekerev tevel meleim zivam mefikim noga zivam bechol haolam semechim betzeitam besasim bevoam osim be'eim aretzon konam pe'er v'chavod notnim lishmot zahala verina lezecher malchuto Kara Lashemesh Vayizrach Ora Vehitin Surat Halavana Shevach Notnim Lo Kol Tzeva Marom Tiferet Ugidula Serafim Ve'ofanim V'chayot HaKodesh Leila Sheshavat Mikol HaMa'asim. 109 and then on to 110. 110, middle of the top paragraph. Kulam ovim, kulam berurim, kulam giborim, v'chulam osim, v'ema uvira, retzon konam, v'chulam potchim et pihem b'kedushav Torah, v'shira u'v'zimra, u'mvarachim u'shabachim u'mvarim, u'maritzim u'makdishim, u'mamlichim, et shema el hamelech hagadol hagibor v'norah kadoshu. וכולם מקבלים מלכות שמיים זה מזה, ונותנים רשות זה לזה, להקדיש ליוצרם בנחת רוח, בשפה ורב ונימה קדושה, כולם כאחד עונים ואומרים, ביראה, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. Bofanim v'chayot hakodesh bera'ash gadol, mitnasim liumat serafim, lumata mishabachim ve'omrim, baruch kivod Adonai mimekamo, leil baruch nimot yitenu. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, v'nizkechu lanu meira l'ro, baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot. 111, top paragraph in the English. Deep is your love for us, Adonai our God. Boundless your tender compassion. Avinu Malkeinu, you taught our ancestors life-giving laws. They trusted in you. For their sake, graciously teach us. Our Maker, merciful provider, show us mercy, grant us discernment and understanding. Then when we study your Torah, heed its words, teach its precepts, and follow its instruction lovingly, fulfilling all its teachings. Over to the Hebrew side, 7 lines from the bottom at the box. V'havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz, v'tolichenu komamiyut le'artzenu, ki el poel Yeshua ata, uvanu v'charta mikolam v'lashon, v'keravtanu l'shimcha hagadol selah. Be'emet lehodot lecha uliyachadcha b'yahava baruch atah Adonai habocher b'yamo Yisrael b'yahava. 112. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha b'derech, u'v'shachbecha v'kumecha, u'kishartam liot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, Uvisharecha. Continue bottom paragraph on 112, Hebrew English. If we want good consequences, let's have good actions. Page 113, let's do the top paragraph in the English. I've done it that way in a while. Adonai said to Moses, instruct the people Israel that in every generation they shall put tzitzit on the corners of their garments and bind the thread of blue to the tzitzit, the fringe on each corner. Look upon these tzitzit and you'll be reminded of all the mitzvot of Adonai and fulfill them, and not be seduced by your heart nor led astray by your eyes. Then you will remember and observe all my mitzvot. Be holy before your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God, who is truth. Adonai Elohechem emet. Ledavado kemoshmo kayam v'chisona chona malchuto v'emunato la'ad kayamet udevarav chayim v'kayamim. Emet shataleinu v'Elohei avotenu malkeinu melech avotenu goleinu gorel avotenu yotzreinu tzur yeshuatenu Vodenu matzilenu me'elam shemecha, ein Elohim zulatecha. 114. Ezrat avotenu atahu me'olam. In the middle of 114, we'll pick up the chant with Mi Chamocha, Hebrew or transliteration. Mi Chamocha Bailim Adonai, Mi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilot Osef Eleh. Shira chadasha shibechu geulim leshimcha sefatayam yachad kulam hodu v'him lechu v'yameru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Sor Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael Ufedechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzivot shemo Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We're on 115a. Ready to chant just the first page of the Amidah before we continue silent with our personal reflections. Avot, Gvurot, Kiddushot. 115a. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Umevi Goel Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Chozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Ata Adonai Magen Avraham Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye Meitim Ata Rab Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Meitim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bala Givurot Umidom Melech Melech Meimit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman ata lachayot meitim Baruch ata Adonai Mechaye haMeitim Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom yalu chasela Baruch ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please continue for a few moments with your own thoughts and feelings for this morning, or the words of the Amidah as it continues 117 through 120. Ose shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'ala kol Yisrael. Ve'yimru imru. Amen. Ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Our Torah portion, as indicated before, is Va'yera. We have here the middle portion of the cycle of Abraham's stories. Abraham has a visit from the angels telling him of the impending birth of Isaac. We have the conflicts between Sodom and Gomorrah and the saving of Lot. And then we move into the birth of Isaac, the second exiling of Ishmael and Hagar. Finally, the story of the Akedah, the almost sacrifice. So we're reading cycle at my synagogue. I'm going to go to the beginning of the third cycle, which is Hagar and Ishmael being sent out. It's chapter 21 of Genesis. We'll start at verse 9 and go through verse 21. If you're in the Eitz Chaim Chumash, it's 114. Again, 21 of Genesis, beginning at verse 9. Ater Sarah ben Hagar ha-Mitzrit asher yolda l'Avraham mitzachek. V'tomer l'Avraham garesh ha'ma'azov v'et bena ki lo yirash ben ha'ama hazot im beni im Yitzchak. V'yera hadavar mo b'nei Avraham al odot beno. V'omer Elohim el Avraham al yera v'einecha al ha'nar v'al ha'matecha. Kol asher tomar lecha Sarah shema b'kola. Ki v'Yitzchak yikarei lecha Zara. V'gam ben ha'ma'agel goy asimenu ki zarachahu. Vashkem Avraham baboker vayikach lechem v'chemad mayim vaytein el Hagar sam al shikma yetei b'shalchecha v'telech v'teta b'bar barshava vayichlu hamayim min hachemet v'tashlech et hayeled tachad echad hatzichim v'telech v'teshev la mineged harchek mitach v'keset ki amra al ereb b'mot hayaled v'teshev mineged v'tisad kola v'tefk. Vayishma Elohim et kol ha'na'ar vayikra malach Elohim el Hagar min hashamayim v'omer la malach Hagar al tiri ki shama Elohim et kol ha'na'ar b'asher hu sham kumisi et ha'na'ar b'chazikit yidech bo ki legoy gadol asimenu vayikach Elohim et eineha v'tereh be'er mayim v'atelech v'temlet hachem et mayim v'tashk et ha'na'ar v'hi Elohim et ha'na'ar v'yigdal Vayeshev b'midbar vayhiro v'kashat. Vayeshev b'midbar paran v'tikach lo imo isha me'eretz Mitzrayim. Lots of Midrash material on that. But we'll pick up one of them in the Devar Torah a little later. The Haftarah, full Haftarah begins on 124. We have the miraculous birth of the child to the Shunammite woman beginning at verse 8. We'll pick up a little of this Haftarah. Let's do the end of the Haftarah. Basically, the boy is born, suffers heat stroke. He has died, apparently. Cardiorespiratory has stopped. And Elisha comes and resuscitates the boy. So that's the part that we'll read. The last part of the Haftarah, 2 Kings chapter 4, beginning at verse 29 in the Eitz Chaim Chumash 126, second paragraph. Vayomer legechazi chagor matnecha v'kach mishanti biyadecha v'alech ki timtza ish lo tevarachenu v'yecha ish lo ta'anenu v'samti ta mishanti al penei hana'ar v'tomer eim hana'ar chayna b'chein avshecha im ezveka v'yakam v'yelech achareha v'gechazi avar lifneihem v'yasem et hamishenet al penei hana'ar v'in kol v'in kashab Vayashav likrato v'aged lo lemor lo hefitz hana'ar Elisha habaita v'nei hanar meit mushkav al mitato v'yavo v'yiskor adelet v'ad shnehem v'yitpalel el Adonai v'yal v'yishkav al hayeled v'yasem Pivo pive navalina vekapa kapa vaikar alab vaya ham ham basar hayaled vaya shabayelech habayit achad hena vachad hena vaya vaygar alab vaya zoranar ad sheba peamim vaychachanar et enab vaykrage chazi vayomer karala shunamit tazob vayikra batavo eleha vayomer sivenech Vatavo vatipol al ragla vatishtachu arza vatishka vatisa et bena vatetse. Mishaberach at this point in time, Debbie Friedman version today. First stanza, take names, second stanza after. Mishaberach avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Names at this time. Second stanza. Mishaberach imotenu, Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Short of our Torah for this morning, an idea from Rachel Komarovsky. As we read in our Torah portion this morning, God opened Hagar's eyes and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the skin of water and gave Ishmael a drink. Opening of Hagar's eyes has been a subject of much commentators throughout the Midrash. What does that mean? Did she have a sight problem? We don't think so. Did she not see the water because it had just been created? Was it a miracle performed to save Ishmael so that he could become the father of the Arab peoples? Or normal psychological interpretation, which is normally my shita, my system, she is so overcome with anxiety and worry and fear that she can't see what's in front of her. You pick whichever of those that you like, though. The author, Komarovsky, writes she works a lot with teens. It's a hard, difficult age. Kids try to open their eyes, but it's very, very challenging with all their problems between them and their parents, of drugs and alcohol availability, of eating disorders that some of these kids unfortunately have to experience. It's a stage of life where it's very difficult to open eyes to see the miracles that they might be able to enjoy. And so the thought today is, are we able to be open to what do we need to do to experience the wonder, the amazement, the sense of the miraculous that our tradition says really is extant all the time? So different things we can do. One, be sure to focus on the good things in life. When things are hard, having gratitude for the things that we do enjoy gives a little bit of a counterbalance in the face of all the anguish. It's good to read these portions with miracles, miraculous birth of Isaac, the miraculous saving of the Shunammite son. Wow, maybe these things happen just differently in this 21st century. They did ages ago. But when we see something amazing, somebody bouncing back, wow, don't take it for granted. So you need to also figure out, what is a miracle? Is it cosmic only? Is it personal? Is it communal? What makes a miracle? Do you see any everyday miracles? And last, the one that just consistently touches me the most, if you're volunteering, helping people out, make a miracle for somebody else. It's possible to do by just a smile, by giving a hand, sometimes just listening. It's a small miracle to rejuvenate another soul's life when things are hard. So, thought for this week, how do we open our eyes for suggestions of things we can do to be able to enjoy our lives fully? do the first paragraph of the prayer for our country on 148 in the Shem Shalom Shabbat edition. Our prayer for our country, middle of 148, just the first paragraph. Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessings for our country, for its government, for its leaders and advisors, for all exercise just and rightful authority. Teach them insights from your Torah, that they may administer all affairs of state fairly, that peace and security, happiness and prosperity, justice and freedom may forever abide in our midst. Including prayers, first up at the back of the Shacharit service, 182 for Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shektiru, Avotenu, Lefanecha et Ketoret Hasamim. 183 for Aleinu, top and bottom. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liyotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kagoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot adama, shelo samach elkeinu kohem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. Anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lefnei melech malachei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Next to last line. B'ne'emar v'hai Adonai lamelech ala kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad. 184 will be next for Mourners Kaddish this week. Charles E. Smith Life Communities. You remember the sites of Sonia Mazo, Isaac Mendelson, Judith Kahn, Rose Rosenfeld, Martin Becker, Louis Wasserman, Pauline Zawatsky, Nathan Zagoria, Brana Pinkson, Joseph Prelo, Rose Watsman, Samuel A. Levin, David Bernstein, Sadie Lemmer, Seymour Greenbaum, Harry Critt, Blanche G. Glass, Anna Kotz, Mabel Miller, Anna Lenovitz, Anna Aberbach, Saul Raum, Solomon Mazer, Tilly Agula, Henry Garfinkel, Bessie Schwartz, Mena Yozkor, Frank Horowitz, Vali Ablanowitz, Valda V. Hoffman, and Tilly Smith. May the faith that binds us to our loved ones be a continuing source of comfort. So we invite those in mourning observing Yortzeit, joining Kaddish 184, but without the fourth line. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirute, v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayed dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'yemru. Amen. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh, v'yit hadar v'yit taleh v'yit talal, shemei de kudesha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran bi'olma v'yemru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'yemromav hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemru. Amen. 187 will be next for Adon Olam. 187. Adon Olam Asher Molach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa V'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yachare Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hobe Vehu Yiyeh V'tifara Vehu Echad V'yein Sheni Lehamshila Lehachvira B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz V'hamisra Vehu Eli V'chai Gawali V'tzor Chevali B'yetzara Vehu Nisi Umanosli Menat Kosi B'yom Mekra B'yado Afkid Ruchi B'yet Ishan B'yaira B'yimruchi Giviati Adonai Li Belo Ira. Nothing new, just I saw in the announcements this week, we're starting to organize for candlelighting for Hanukkah. Starts November 28th. Thanksgiving weekend, Sunday, is the first candle. I think that's about the only thing I know of new on the agenda. Hope you've had a good week. I hope this upcoming week will also be good. Good morning, good Shabbos, a good week, Shavuot Tov after the end of Shabbat, and to all a Shabbat Shalom.